Welcome to Make It Last with Sage Jeff and Cass. I'm your host, Eric So.
And I'm Jafari Roberts.
We're only with you for about 10 to 15 minutes, so let's make that time last.
And in fact, this will be the last 10 to 15 minutes of Make It Last, guys. The last episode.
It's true. Jafari is leaving us. I think he's doing engineering or circuiteering, or he was explaining it to me earlier, but I only know sports. You guys know that.
Yeah, it's a shame, guys. I'm going to miss everybody, but engineering degree calls, and it's taking up all my time. So, we'll move on to the polls. All polls this week are brought to you by New Hope Pharmaceuticals. Go to newhopecbd.com for creams to help you with recovery, anti-inflammatory, and arthritis relief. And buy anything, enter code MAKEIT, that's MAKEIT, at the checkout for free shipping.
And if you guys were paying attention to last week's episode, you definitely didn't vote on the poll, because I was absolutely right. If we were super specific with a poll question, gave absolutely no context, no one would vote.
The only three people who voted were me, Harry, and Harry's girlfriend, who's also our producer, Sam.
Sam, thank you so much for voting, yeah.
And
it doesn't even matter what the poll was, because you didn't vote for it, yeah.
But the poll was JJ Watt fronting? We only said JJ.
Is JJ fronting? And I thought most people would think it's about JJ Redick's contract. No one even voted. Doesn't matter.
We all said yes. He's fronting completely. You got another poll. Stephen A. Smith. Harry, you want to take that one?
Oh, yes. Does Stephen A. Smith look like the guy in a barbershop neither cutting his hair nor getting his hair cut? And 89% of you said yes. One of you went into our DMs and said there's a typo in the poll, so thanks, guys. Best fans in the business.
Wonderful.
You guys are incredible.
You guys are great. And this is actually the last poll. Harry, I think you should tell this one.
All right, for real this time. Last poll ever. I'm going to put this on the poll. Maybe I'll update it on whatever I do after this. But I was home this past weekend, and I was complaining to my mom and one of her friends about how on the highway, when there's an accident, people kind of stare, and they end up causing more traffic than if they just drove right past it. And my mom's friend was like, yeah, those no-good rubbernecks. And that sounds racist. I don't know what it is, but, like, put it on the poll. Does rubberneck sound racist? Because it sounds like something like a bunch of black people would say in a 1920s jazz club. They're just like, good thing there are no rubbernecks in here. And as a white person, I'm very offended. We get offended very easily if you watch the news. And I'm one of those white people offended.
I can tell. You're offended by rubberneck. It's a new low, Harry. We can't tell the secret. The black people have to stay united. Is
there a secret? It really is racist. I knew it.
Yeah,
I'll
leak it.
I got it.
Speaking of leaking, J. Cole leaked a little snippet about his new album that came out earlier this year, and the song "Neighbors" is actually a pretty good song. You should listen to it. The beat from that song is just the Forbidden Fruit beat backwards. This blew my mind.
How did no one find this out?
This blew my mind.
You know what I mean? People used to play Beatles lyrics backwards to, like, see all the devil stuff and see what was going on.
Right.
How does, like, there's a bald guy that reviews every hip-hop song on YouTube. How did he not catch this? How is J. Cole leaking this information?
Incredible.
We need better fans.
J. Cole, you did it again. Proud of you.
On to sports news.
On to sports news. In the last 2 years, there have been 33 All-Stars. And so that means since 2016, there's only been 9 of them. Only been 9. Just kidding. There's been a whole 9 of them that have changed teams to team up with another All-Star. That's incredible to me. Not really, because, only because salary cap makes the moves, like, pretty much infinite now.
I think for our last episode, I thought it'd be fun if we fixed the NBA. There's a lot of complaining about how bad that final series and, practically the whole playoffs was terrible. So we're going to be like a Mike and Mike style. We're going to fix baseball, except hopefully people watch this one. With almost, every All-Star going west, the East basically has LeBron, Kyrie, and a bunch of premature babies. I thought it would be fun to do seedings 1 through 16 regardless of conference. And if you do that, you end up seeing teams like Golden State versus the Chicago Bulls. That's the 1 seed versus the 16. And if I go onward, it's Spurs versus Portland, Houston versus Indiana, Celtics versus the Bucks, Cavs versus Atlanta, Toronto versus Memphis, Clippers versus OKC, and Utah versus the Wizards. And I love this because I think there's a really good amount of series in there. I think there's a bunch of possible upsets where when you watch normally basketball, there's never an upset ever. Everyone knew that Golden State was going to win the whole time, and they didn't make it fun. But I think OKC could beat the Clippers. I think the Wizards could beat Utah. I think Memphis could beat Toronto.
I don't know. I think this works, but at the same time, I don't think it's really the fix needed. I mean, there's always going to be first-round blowouts, but there's still first-round matches.
Think about it, though. These series, tournament style, would end up with a quote-unquote Eastern Conference Finals of Golden State versus the Cavs, and a Western Conference Finals of the Spurs versus Houston, which are both better than the regular games that happened. And I feel like this at least makes it better, because right now free agency is more exciting than the NBA championship was. And that shouldn't happen. I shouldn't be more excited I shouldn't be waking up early on July 4th morning like, what's going on with Gordon Hayward? I shouldn't be doing that. I should be sick of the NBA right now. I should be like, that was enough. But no, it wasn't. So I think this fixes it.
I think they just need to lower the money, the salary cap, and then take away the ability to just overpay for players. I think that really.
I don't think they should lower the salary cap. I don't think that solves anything.
I think that's because everyone's getting paid enough. Because superstars are taking superstar money to still play with their superstar friends. I mean, I think you can make it that superstars have to choose between money or a good team. Then like you make it so the teams are spread out more, because only the teams that can afford to pay for these superstars will get them.
But I think you're still gonna have people paying over the luxury tax, whatever it is. Because like a lot of people hate on James Harden's contract because he's making something like $47 million next year. But I mean, no one really hates on the owner. Does anyone know how much the owner is making next year?
Makes a lot.
Yeah, and you know how many people can do what James Harden can do? None. None. Zero. There's no one else that can do what everyone's like. I was talking to this about my aunt when I was down, and she was like, "Oh, this sickens me how he makes that much money and teachers don't make that." It's like no one is live streaming a teacher teach except, well, me every single week when I attend online classes. But still, you know what I mean? I don't want to do that. If James Harden was there, I would be way more inclined to watch.
That'd be dope. No, all college professors that I have from now on, please bring James Harden to your lectures. I'll go every day.
Finally, Tom Brady's fitness book that isn't out yet is already a bestseller.
Oh, Tom Brady. Everything you touch turns to gold, and I hate it.
The TB12 method. How to achieve a lifetime of sustained peak performance.
Oh, catchy.
That's the worst name in the history of books.
It's terrible.
What a better way than to end our podcast than to make fun of Tom Brady ruthlessly.
Oh, thank goodness.
Tom Brady, we gave you a bunch of better names for your book. We know that your book isn't out yet, so if you want to change the name, make some last-minute tinkers, you still can. Starting with How to Not Beat the Giants by Tom Brady.
How to Cheat Multiple Times and Get Away with It by Tom Brady.
How to Marry a Transgender-Looking Person, but no one really bring it up because of her body is, like, just incredible, by Tom Brady.
How to Have a Field Goal Kicker Win You 5 Rings by Tom Brady.
Product of the System. That one's fun because it's also the name of Tony Parker's new book.
We got Breaking the Rules by Katie McGarry, sponsored by Tom Brady.
We googled Breaking the Rules, it's already a book. It's already a book, yeah. Oh, well. And finally, How to Be a Rubberneck by Tom Brady.
Jesus. It's racist. It's racist.
If you guys have now it's racist. If you guys have liked the show, subscribe to the YouTube page. I'll make sure to bring up some new content soon. Follow us on Twitter at SageFcast. I'm probably going to change the URL soon, but there is no keeping up with the show because it's over now. But we still love you.
We love you guys. I miss you.